Okay, we're back. So, we were talking about the food web. Don't get too caught up, though. Like, don't think life in an ecosystem. Is this coming in clear? Focus? Focus? Is there a focus button here? Let me find a focus button. Right here. Hey, there we go. They're looking good. Good looking guy. What can I say? Nice and focused in, ready to go. All right. So, food webs are just a part of an ecosystem. Okay, it's not all about just organisms eating each other and it's just this big battle royale of just fighting, and killing and eating. Organisms interact with each other in many ways, okay? And the name of that phenomenon is called symbiotic relationships, okay? You can see it right here, symbiotic relationships. Now, symbiotic, you can break up into two portions. Sym, which means together. Sym, which means together. And bio, which means life. So together life relationships, or how life lives, interacts together in a relationship. So there's numerous ways that biotic organisms interact with each other. Let's look at a few, shall we? Let's make this a little bigger too. Come on. A little bit big skis. Oh, big bees. There we go. Let's just close that. Yeah. Stink bug, get out of here. Okay. Let's move this up here. Perfect. Okay. First one, mutualism. Okay. So we got a bee, biotic, and a flower, biotic. And they're interacting with each other, right? See that? He's rubbing his thorax all over that pollen. Oh, yeah. So, who benefits here? Well, the bee does, right? The bee gets pollen to make honey. He goes, and he makes honey for the beehive, for the queen bee. And does the flower benefit? Yes, because the bee will go from flower to flower to flower, and it will cross pollinate and help these plants reproduce. That is what we call mutualism. Mutualism, from the root word mutual, mutual meaning equal on both sides. Now, in this case, equal is in the positive for both sides, right? So mutualism is what we would call a plus plus. Both sides gain. Next one, commensalism. Actually, take a minute and see if you can think of another mutualistic relationship. Go ahead and take a minute. I will set a timer for 30 seconds. Go ahead and skip if you don't want to do this.
Okay, 30
Oh,
seconds and counting.
thank you, Siri. Hey, Siri. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Well, I guess we'll just wait for this timer to finish because it's going to beep in the middle of my speaking. Think of a mutualistic relationship. Time is up. Let me know live a mutualistic relationship. Next is commensalism. In commensalistic relationships, you have an organism that benefits and an organism that nothing at all. There's no interaction in a positive or negative way that that affects the other organism. So, for example, here you got a bird chilling on a cow's back. Okay, the cow does not gain. The bird gets protection, gets a good vantage point, gets a good view. Very simple. Parasitism is when one species will latch onto another host species and it will harm the other species, the host species. It will drain the nutrients from the host organism and typically will decrease its ability to survive and reproduce, sometimes giving it a disease or an ailment or some sort of sickness. So I have an awful tick. These guys are bad news. Check yourselves for ticks, people. Lyme disease is awful. Heard bad things about it. Next, we have high school relationism. This is when two people in a high school environment decide that it is a good idea to plague all of their friends, family, and teachers around them and talk about how much in love they are. As you can see here, this is a negative. It affects nobody positively. It just causes years of heartbreak, sadness, and full of remorse. Not only for the two organisms involved, but for everyone that has to put up with it. So, save yourself the tears and me the laughter. I'm kidding. I would never laugh at a high school breakup. But save yourself the energy. You can put a lot more energy elsewhere. Trust me. So yeah, we have these two organisms here. I give them another month. Debate time! My favorite time of the year. It's the time to debate something controversial. In college, I heard some people say, fetuses are parasites. You are an ignorant, unwoke loser, Mr. Warner. They wouldn't call me Mr. Warner. Say, Andrew, aren't you aware that a baby inside of a woman is a parasite, and this can cause irreparable damage, and it can hurt this person. Therefore, since it is a host relationship, and this baby is drawing resources from the woman, that fetuses must be parasites. Well, that's a good point. Never thought of it that way. Well, what do you think? Let's call it right here. Let's go live and let's discuss, are fetuses parasites? Are fetuses parasites? Let's talk about it. Signing off.